What is up, guys? Got a fun deck for you today. Today's deck, I'm playing it so you don't have to. Yes, I managed to find a deck for Radovid Judgment. Not really a great card, but I thought, if there's one deck that I could kind of feasibly put into for its cost and some synergies, it'd be a Revenant deck. Plus, we have Ada, or Ada, however you pronounce it. She's in this, and obviously with the whole curse thing, synergizes with it. And Radovid Judgment could be a good card if we kind of see some provision changes or power changes. It could be a lot more playable. But the main thing why I want with Revenants is, with the leader, because it's spawning volunteers, and hopefully we can get more if we use just the standard Radovid. You can go ahead and already fill up a row pretty good. When you use up all those leader charges, Radovid comes out, and then you turn all of them into Revenants. And having a nice 6-power Revenant is nothing to look away from. Just, a little overcosted, but we'll make it happen. And it was interesting returning to this deck and kind of seeing some different pieces we could throw in, and kind of playing some cards I haven't played in a long time, like Philippa Blind Fury. You could definitely change the deck around quite a bit. You can go in a little bit more with the curse stuff. You could pull back and just kind of tech it in, and definitely change up the bronzes if you wanted. A lot of variability there, but it's something with this leader that's actually really nice for when you play Draug. You could honestly even just ignore your PFIs or anything that's spawning out and just rely solely on your leader to go ahead and fill up the row, because you don't want too much on a row. I'd say you probably want about 5, because you are going to be spawning more on those rows, and it's kind of the awkward thing of Draug. But and just kind of some other stuff we were doing Flotsam, just because might get something that we'd really want for it, and just a solid card, and then also Temple, because it's absolutely busted. And if we're playing this leader anyways, we can get those cards that we want, and we can possibly get more Radovids, which that's the only way Radovid's good, right? Is if you play it off a Temple, and you could get like a bunch of them in there. Yeah, and so then the other thing I really want to mention here, this is a sick combo, is Ada, that's just what I want to call her, it might be Ada, but Ada with Botchling, it's a 5-point per turn engine. That is no joke. Absolutely cracked. And again, it's not gonna it's not broken, change the game or whatever, but it's just cracked in the sense that 5 points per turn is unreal. But, Ignis, Scorches, anything like that are going to absolutely destroy it. And if they answer Botchling in and of itself, it's only 5 power. It is feasible to do. But up against something here like Dwarves, they might be running a Heat Wave, but not much else. Like, their damage is going to be hard to take it out, because I don't think they could kill it in one turn too easy, and it would just heal back when you transform it. But that combo is pretty disgusting. You can get a lot of points with it. But yeah, just the general deck thing. Most of the idea was, okay, what stuff that works good for transforming. So that's why you can see like Redanian Knight there, because it keeps the power that it's at. And if it is exposed and goes back to a 1, then the Revenants can ping it to get like +2 points. Same thing with Philippa. It's kind of why I threw her in there. She can help set up offensive pings, but you can also just ping herself just to kind of generate some points. Pretty handy in that regard. PFIs are an obvious one. I even did a smoke them out just because I needed to fill a spot. Doing ballistas there for more pinging things to try and line it up. That kind of just gives a general idea. But yeah, honestly, if I was to rework this, I'd honestly probably want to go more like a normal NR bronze package, and then you just kind of have, Draug in there almost just with, setting up all these leaders. It's actually kind of a decent little play. Really kind of surprised me and was shocked that I'd never seen anybody really mess with that. I definitely haven't myself, but just doing normal Radovid, popping out a bunch of leaders, and then just playing Draug on it isn't too bad. But Northern Realms is pretty competitive for gold slots that you want to put in, so kind of makes sense. Yeah, this is gonna be a pass here. It's kind of risky when playing that last card, because if he passed on us, we wouldn't have the easiest time catching up because he's getting passive points. But I'll take that trade. Need to set up the graveyard too. Actually, pretty good little combo there between Ildico and Mad. Was it Keon? I don't even know because that card just is not good. But she can actually set that card up to be pretty decent. We can get formation. We can play Ildico. She'll give Zeal so we can play the Witcher guy formation and also boost him up. We can deal out some decent damage. Yeah, that was a weird play. I was figuring the dry pass if he's just going to lead like that without boosting anything. And honestly, I think we go Philippa here. Just to completely eliminate carryover, because a little bit more important in this matchup. I know 4 points of carryover isn't a big deal anymore just in today's game. But already having a dwarf out on the front row is pretty strong for getting your Brewer set up quick. You know, you can put like tempering onto him or boost, put armor with another dwarf onto him, and then it's just another one that's already set and ready to go. It's a little bit of extra utility there for him. So I don't know the best trade there, if that's the most logical thing, but I think there's an argument for it. Oh, so another one in there is the Purify that comes out. Again, that's just some extra thinning, and then also it's only 1 power. So, you know, if you need to self-ping it, you can. It also is a human, so you could have it come out possibly into the melee row, and again, another thing for Jar to be targeted. I can't talk. We're going to go and set up this in the botchling combo early. I think we'll just be able to abuse it, because I don't think they're going to be able to touch it. You know, it's hefty paying that devotion fine for it, but man, having immunity is very nice. Massively limits the card pool that can target it. Alright, here we go. Now this is always a moment of truth, is can they answer botchling? One downside to that card as well is when you flip it, and I think it's Lubberkin, it'll start boosting up all your ones that you might want to keep for self-pinging. It's a small thing, but it kind of can come up and matter when you're fighting for every point. Okay, I think our next sequence here will be getting the Revenants going with Draug.
Oh, I'm feeling sleepy, grumpy, dopey, and bashful. Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Yeah, look at that. It's not looking like he has any answers. Also, if you kind of didn't care about like Devotion and Ada here, you could definitely do that Regis Bloodlust and then transform it with the Curse Knight. I'm sure you guys are seeing a lot of that going around. Honestly, not a bad play. Plus, you can resurrect it out. Because really, to me, the only reason you'd want to play Ada is with this botchling combo, like, because with the other ones, I think it's too awkward with how you're having to build your deck and hoping you're having your hand for her to get, like, you know, really good value. Because I'm sure you could calculate it out, and I'm sure it would kind of be fine, provisions wise, or like points to provisions. But also, what the heck? This guy must like just have started. Which, yes, I've deranked so much because I don't play as much. But man, who's playing that card anymore? Hopefully Gwent Infinity can help that card out a little bit. Alright, there he is. I played it so you didn't have to. We've got 2 more cards for NR for the rest of the game, and that's one of the ones we decided, for whatever reason. Let's do, oh, you use up all your leader charges, here's a thinning card. Like, come on, you couldn't have thought of anything more interesting. So what's this guy's sequencing? Like, he should have played that card way earlier. Sure, it's just a learning thing, but...
This medallion, dear Majesty, a symbol of my affection for you.
Also, please no Igni. Please no Scorch. Please no Curse or Corruption. Was that Sabrina down there? He tries to set up like a Brewer row, like with Zoltan's company. We're gonna be able to answer that so easy. I almost completely forgot about that card. I was doing some like last minute deck building, it just came through, and then I saw it for mine. I was like, oh my gosh, how am I not playing that? Alright, yeah, so it is Mad Keon, or Cayenne, however you say it. Cayenne pepper. And if you also pay attention, I made sure not to flip Botchling yet, because that would give us 1 more point off him, because he is cursed. I shouldn't flip it. Yeah. Okay, I guess he's getting ready to set up for... No? Okay. That's another thing. If he has Brewer, I have no idea why he hasn't tried to play it yet. So yeah, 43 points. I feel like I'm playing monsters or something. Well, I mean, considering her story, kinda are.
I've had men killed for less.
Alright, he's got a Brewer right now. I mean, if he wants to keep this any close at all, we're just running away with this. Granted, if he does have Tall Punish, we're basically like close to being tied. All our points are basically, or all our massive leavage is basically because of Ada and Botchling combo. Alright, well there it is. There's Zoltan's company. Easy cleanup. Easy cleanup. And granted, we had lock anyway, so it wouldn't really matter when he Brewered.
Battles are won or lost by the commanders, not by sorceresses.
No Tall Punish, it's game over here. I'm just gonna call it. If he has Tall Punish, this could go multiple ways. So he needs to leader now onto Yarpin. Every point matters when you're 60 behind. 60 something. Might be more, might be less. I don't know. I'm not doing that math. Probably should have just destroyed that one Revenant. Yeah, so this is actually a mistake. If I destroy the one Revenant, I clean up extra board space. No, I don't, because I replaced it, so it doesn't matter, but it's still +2. Yeah, so 53 points. Holy cow. That's quite the showing. Alright, what is it? Is it Tall Punish? No. Okay, not even close. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. On to the next one. Good game, good game. Well, I'll be curious to see what this is. Because you know, with that later, you never know what you're getting into. Thought crossed my mind, mirror matchup, but I'm kind of playing a bit of a unique deck here, so I highly doubt that. Kind of hope he's not playing Radovid Judgment, so I can like truly say I'm the only one playing it. Which I know ultimately isn't the case, but it's not far from it. I bet you that. It's kind of an awful hand. I mean, in some instances, it being bronze heavy can be nice if you come out with the win, because then you just got all these gold saved up. But with how today's game is played, it's kind of scary to see that. Mutagenerator. Well, what's amazing about that card is this match can basically be won or lost based off of this. No, yeah, we want Vandergriff. Because what's nice is we got that carryover, so we already have a unit in place for a drug. If you kind of haven't caught the theme of what I just keep harping on and on about. Hey, with him we might be able to get the damage by 2 spawn a Revenant. Might come in handy. So he's gonna play Temple? No.
If you could just sign the confirmation.
He probably will. Probably have Erlin too, I'd imagine. I think we'll draw Vandergriff and go and pop him out. Really want to take this round, and so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna use this temple stuff as carryover. Just go and play it now, because I do want to take this if he's getting mutagenerator stuff, because I need to bleed that out. Probably just go for the 2-0.
Scurvy? Nah, fine girls in here.
But obviously, as long as we're kind of chilling ahead in points, it's not close. Like, we don't want to play him out, because if we can save it, might as well, you know. But yeah, there it is. I mean, Temple. It got nerfed, guys. Temple got nerfed. No, I mean, to be fair, it is a fair one, because now your opponent can like actually understand what they might, like what you might also be bringing to the table, or vice versa. It's also kind of a mistake I did here. I didn't hover over it to see what he did. Kind of just played on.
My lady. Elegant.
arrogance does draw jealous eyes.
So I think I maybe should have waited to play there and just gone with like Redanian Knight or something, but thought process might have been this guy's playing, you know, really slow. Maybe like try for a tempo pass here, which he'd probably take anyways because he's got muted generators. So he's like, hey, fine, I'll get my carryover. We'll go to a long round. And unless you've got that Ada and botchling combo that's gonna stick, this deck is not gonna scale well into a long round.
Beware the man
Not at all. Probably more like 6 to 7 cards is where this deck I think can really shine. Because though you are doing a lot of damage, you can answer things. It's not like hard effective answers, so if you went up against like an engine vomit deck, I think you probably lose it. Okay, so it's a Shub deck, interesting. I mean, makes sense. Kind of all those pieces were played together for past couple seasons, I feel like. Or patches, shouldn't really say season. Wonder what he's going for. I kind of wish he'd go for C's. Could you imagine if he took Vandergrift? That would actually be amazing. I'd be bad in the moment, but looking back, that'd be pretty legendary. The reason why I'm going to take that pass there is because my tempo and stuff is going to start slowing down a lot. Not really playing anything super high value. And going to give him more chances to close it. Or because I'm already ahead by enough and I play a low tempo and he's like, okay, I'm just going to go and like bounce out. And, you know, I could have like kept card advantage or whatever. Or force more out of him, if that kind of makes sense. And so like, yeah, so there he goes. The pass turned out to be amazing. You know, I'm assuming here, could be wrong, but I would say if anyone's newer, and a lot of people watch these anymore, but if anyone's newer and watching this, like that's a critical mistake that you'll see a lot where you're not paying attention to score and you just kind of have to pass because you're like, yeah, I can't cover this in any reasonable amount. I run into that a lot at lower ranks where people pass at same when they're on like red. So you've got to make sure you have reach whenever you play a card. And shouldn't say always, sometimes you're going to want to bluff it and try and force out, but yeah, that overall was just a terrible round one by my opponent because like you think he didn't even really get any muted generator value at all. I think he got like what, 2 cards back there. There was like Shoop and the Envoy.
to the dungeon.
Like, it was not good. So yeah, I shouldn't even use PFI here because it's gonna fill up the row too much. Just need to do like leader. We'll get rid of them. That's what I'm just saying, like, I don't even, with this whole, like, leader stuff, I really just don't even think you need half these bronzes that are there to try and set up Draug. Just, like, try and set up some other stuff, because leader is good enough for it. And especially if you do want to do this Radovid Judgment, I mean, that's 1 extra unit out there. Golly, that animation takes too long for when you're starting to run out of time.
To the dungeon with him.
Gotta love it. But yeah, that play right there just pretty much, and granted we did have carryovers that does sway it a little bit, but that play just practically certifies that I think that might be the way to go, is almost Draug is just a tech option. You kind of just cut out some of this other stuff and play more of a normal Northern Realms deck. Might be an interesting way to go. Have to experiment with it. You know, Draug is a tech card, you know, big quotation marks around that. So kind of what I'm doing there is just clearing the board, so whenever he plays like, you know, any individual thing, can focus solely more on hitting it out based off like a card I get from Flotsam or, you know, possibly Gerhardt. Is a little bit the idea there. It's just completely clear it so he's not going to have much on the board that he's boosting up and interacting, getting out of range. Of course then he plays a 9 that I can't touch, but also yeah, I don't know if that's the play. These Revenants are not that threatening overall. The only way Revenants I think are really scary is if like they're set up in another thing where, like in an engine vomit deck, for example. Like if I have a bunch of Arbalists and Ballistas and everything, and I can just consistently get your units low, and then Revenants are finishing them off, and so I'm spawning even more on my side, and especially if I can move them to like other rows and stuff. Yeah, then they're scary, because I'm getting huge payoffs instead of just killing your unit, you know. Killing your unit, putting a slight engine on my side, 3 points, you know, 4 points, possibly leading to even more. That's where they're really scary. But in typical like Draug type scenarios where I don't really have many other pinging things here, I'm just kind of playing it. Like I'm only killing 1 to 2 units, you know. And so deleting just the one, also when I have a bunch of others there, it just isn't doing anything. Like I really think they should have gone for something else. Gotten some more points.
We saw their cities delicate as if woven from the morning mist.
Yeah, we're gonna greed here. I'm gonna try and see if I can get it. What is it? I can't even remember what it's called. I mean, that's just the story of all this. I can never remember names when I'm recording videos.
I'll gladly help if I live to see it.
Could consider the tempo pass here. Shawnee would be decent in a short round. But I kind of smell blood in the water. I don't think his Erlin's going to be that great. And I think we've committed a lot this round that we could go and just close it out. Because if we do pass here and he is able to get out Erlin with like 1 card click, we might be in some trouble. Because we have a lot of trash in our deck. We've played most of the good stuff here. We don't have any leader charges to get any remaining golds that we would have.
It's war. Severed limbs, blood, and guts.
Sabrina might be. Well, not might be, is likely to be very bad here. But if he goes leader, we could actually get some good value. So he's closing the gap again. That Erlin was a lot better than I thought. Oh, that's right, because he played, yeah, he did Iris Companions, right? So he had Iris as well in there.
Right.
Funny little glitch there, then the resilience finally shows up. We're gonna need a lot of points here though. We get 2 Revenants spawned. Maybe even another one. Oh, he just forfeits. Cool. Alright, well there. The deck performed actually pretty well. We could definitely make some adjustments, but pretty happy with it. Got to see some of the combos in action. Hope you guys enjoyed.